Hey, welcome. This is Nancy Slater, and I'm the instructor for your class, Intro to Illustrator, GRD 100. And we're going to walk through a couple of things before I start the actual software demo. First of all, if this is the first time that you've taken the class, you want to access it through our Muskegon Community College website. This will bring you to the front page of our website. I'm sure you've all been there before. Then we want to go into My MCC. Now typically this would take you to a sign-on page where you have to again enter your email address and your password, but because I've signed in before this morning, it's going to take me right directly to my MCC. What you'll be looking for are My Blackboard courses and one that's entitled GRD 100L or Intro to Illustrator. And when you click on that, that brings you right into the I'm going to just, there we go. I was trying to get rid of the announcements so we didn't have to listen to it, but I don't know that that's possible on Pandora, so if it gets in our way, I'll just turn it off. But anyway, so after we enter the announcements page, you'll see typically here I'll have most anything that is of interest that particular week, if there's anything different than what you would normally find in your weekly content. But if you've not taken a Blackboard course before, let's start with this little blue section here. This is where all your relevant information is going to be. For example, we're on the announcements page now. You'll want to read through the announcement and find out what you have to do to ensure success in the course. You have to make sure you have a high-speed internet if you're going to work from home, or you can come into the lab. You have to make sure that you have the software, Adobe Illustrator CC. You can rent it, you can purchase it, although it is quite costly, or you can come into one of the school labs to use it. It's on all of our public labs, and you can go back into the graphics lab and use it as well. Then you also need to get the textbook Exploring Adobe Illustrator CC by Toland Hartman. Actually, I think what they're shipping out is Adobe Illustrator CS6 with just a little addendum for the Creative Cloud version. CS6 is an earlier version. So again, you can purchase or rent it from the bookstore. You can go to Amazon or any other, like cheapbooks.textbooks.com. Any of those will have the textbook available. Just make sure that you're looking for this one and the here, Exploring Adobe Illustrator CC by Toland and Hartman. And then a Monday, this Monday at 7:30, we'll be attending a meeting on Zoom. I have sent out an email inviting you to the meeting, and you should have the access code or the phone number, whatever it is that you need. So make sure that you attend that meeting, and we'll probably go over a lot of this stuff again, but just in the meantime, it might help you. You might want to put together some questions that you might have. Well, this is annoying. I'm going to turn this off, okay? Holy moly. All right. All right, so now we've been through the announcements page. The course information is lab policies if you are going to work in the lab. It's the syllabus, which you should have already downloaded and read and put together any questions that you might have about it. And then this is also just an overview of what the due dates are for this particular course. And what you'll see is, and I may change some of these as we go through the semester, so don't work too far ahead. If we're working with a newer version than when I had taught this last time, which is last summer, sometimes I have to go in and change the chapter exercise numbers and so forth. So, but in this particular instance, Chapter 1, the requirements are Chapter 1L1, and you'll find that exercise in Chapter 1, and then also the review questions. Every week the review questions are required. And you'll find that in the back of each chapter. And for example, in this particular Chapter 1, you'll find it on page 16. The due date, it's due the end of the week, every week for 12 weeks. The exercises will be due at the end of the week, and I give you Sunday night till midnight. All right, so those are the due dates. The syllabus I'm not going to go over now. Again, I'm assuming that you'll download it and read it. And then the next thing that we want to look at is our weekly content. And this is really where the guts of the course are, whatever. If you click on that tab, you'll find just kind of an overview initially. You have to read Chapter 1. You want to review Chapter 1 lecture, which you'll find inside this file folder. You're going to review the chapter demos, which is what I'm doing now in terms of I'm creating the demo. And then you'll want to also complete those assignments that we talked about. Very often, in fact probably 9 times out of 10, the chapter demos are intended to get you started on this exercise in Illustrator in that chapter. So we're going to click here, and you'll find right now I only have 3 things loaded. The first thing is the lecture, and it's on YouTube, and I think it's maybe 10 minutes, very short, this chapter 1. This chapter 1 addendum, that is, if you click on that, you'll find that this is the little addendum to your textbook, because again, remember they're still shipping out CS6. So this is bringing it up to date to the most current version of Adobe Illustrator. Not a lot of changes you'll find, but you'll definitely want to look at it just in case there's some that you need to review. And then this is the important part for our exercises that we're just about to embark on. This is a zip file, so what you would do is you're just going to click on that zip file, and your computer, now I'm on a Mac, so if you're a PC your options may be a little bit different, but the process is the same. We are going to save the file, which again, remember, it's a zipped file. Going to click OK. And what happens with mine is it automatically goes up here and I can check the progress of the downloads. Looks like it's already downloaded. So I am going to open that up in my Finder, and you'll see here is the zipped file, and you can't access that unless you expand it or unless you extract it, I guess is the term that is used. So make sure you don't try to access your Illustrator files until you take this zipped file and extract it. My system automatically does that, but yours may not. So just typically all you have to do is double click on it to be able to access it anyway. And then what you want to do is once you get those files extracted, you're going to find, there's my Chapter 1 lessons. You're going to go into your C drive or your hard drive, and you are going to find your documents file. And I'm going to find my Illustrator file, which is right here, and I'm going to open up that Illustrator file. And you'll see that I already have the zipped lessons there. I haven't unzipped them yet. I'm just going to click, drag, and drop these in here. So now I have access to my Chapter 1 files. All right, so let's go back to the website real quickly. The discussion board I rarely use, although I give that, I rarely use it in a face-to-face class. I always give the option, and we may use it a little bit more this semester. It just depends on how many questions there are and that type of thing. Because in an intro class, really the only thing that I use it for is questions, typically not assignments. Resources, if there's anything relevant to Adobe Illustrator that you need to be aware of, that I want you to have access to over the course of the semester, then I would put it under resources. But I would always forewarn you that it's there. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention are these tools in the blue section. If you go under Tools, and you'll see this little Blackboard IM, I would like you to download that. That makes me almost immediately accessible whenever you happen to be online, as long as I'm online as well. You'll see this little Blackboard IM icon over here on my desktop. If I click on that, that brings up my the courses that I'm teaching, and then it also will indicate that I'm available with a little green dot that you can see as well. Now you see none of my other classes have anybody available. That's obviously because we're in the middle of a break, right? But again, during the semester, if you want immediate contact with me, and when you're working a software class, sometimes that is important. You should sign up for it and then contact me if you have a question. Sometimes I don't see it because it gets buried under all of my other pages that I have open, but but typically I check it every so often, so I would always get back to you. If not right away within the next 24 hours. Typically it's much sooner than that though. All right, so that's under course tools, and that's really all we need to look at right now within Blackboard. Be sure if you have questions, you either instant message me. You'll find on the syllabus, and I will open that just briefly so you can see that. You'll find on the syllabus that you've got my email address, you've got a telephone number to text me, and then Blackboard IM. So I should be pretty easy to access if you need to get a hold of me. All right. Then I think I am going to close this out, and this has probably been 10 minutes we've been online, so I'm going to close this out, save it, upload it to YouTube so it's available to you, and then I'm going to go in and make another session with just the software demo with the textbook. Okay, I will see you in a few.